Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Malohat, again with you. Dear students, today at our lesson we will speak about deductive and inductive grammar teaching. First, we will give definitions to these both words, inductive and deductive. Then we will speak about objectives of them, and then we will speak about advantages and the disadvantages of these two methods. Here we go. And first, we will give definition to the word inductive. Inductive teaching, also called discovery teaching or inquiry teaching, is based on the claim that knowledge is built primarily from a learner's experiences and interactions with phenomena. As for the definition of the word deductive, deductive teaching, also called direct instruction, is much less constructively and is based on the idea that a highly structured presentation of content creates optimal learning for students. Deductive versus inductive approaches. So first we will speak about deductive approach, overtly explain the rule first, then provide specific examples to reinforce, and vice versa of it in inductive approach, provide specific examples first, then ask students to infer or deduce the rule. Inductive teaching. An instructor using an inductive approach begins by exposing students to a concrete instance or instances of a concept. The teacher's role is to create the opportunities and the contexts in which students can successfully make the appropriate generalization and to guide students necessary. Deductive teaching. The instructor using a deductive approach typically presents a general concept by first defining it and then providing examples or illustrations that demonstrate the idea. Students are given opportunities to practice with the instructor guidance and feedback. Now we will compare these two methods. The deductive method and inductive method. It doesn't give any new knowledge in deductive method, vice versa of it in inductive one, it gives new knowledge. It's a method of verification in deductive one, vice versa of it in inductive one, it's a method of discovery. So in deductive one, it's a method of instruction, and in inductive one, it's a method of teaching. In deductive one, child gets ready-made information and makes use of it. In inductive one, child acquires first-hand knowledge and information by actual observation. In deductive one, it's a quick process, and vice versa of it in inductive one, it's slow process. In deductive one, there is less scope of activity in it, and vice versa of it in inductive one, it's full of activity. In deductive one, it's a downward process of thought and it leads to useful results. And in inductive one, it's an upward process of thought and it leads to principles. Using the grammar situation, the teacher would present the students with a variety of examples for a given concept without giving any introduction about how the concept is used. As students see how the concept is used, it is hoped that they will notice how the concept is to be used and determine the grammar rule. As a conclusion to the activity, the teacher can ask the students to explain the grammar rule as a final check that they understand the concept. A deductive approach to instruction is a more teacher-consented approach. This means that the teacher gives the students a new concept, explains it, and then has the students practice using the concept. For example, when teaching a new grammar concept, the teacher will introduce the concept, explain the rules related to its use, and finally the students will practice using the concept in a variety of different ways. Deductive and inductive approaches. Deductive, explicit, or the so-called traditional method. Students learn grammar rule in it and use rule. So present, practice, and produce. It is called PPP in abbreviation. So inductive, implicit, or more modern. Use a grammar rule, learn rule. In this, teacher shows examples, students discover the rule. Now we will speak about advantages. As for the advantages of inductive approach, students may draw approaches. Inductive approach can increase the creativity. Inductive approach showed better long-term retention ability. Meet the challenges of the new world. As for the advantages of deductive approach, some educators have suggested that deductive teaching can be critically important for students with learning disabilities. Some learn best through a deductive approach. Deductive learners like to have the general principles identified. Disadvantages of inductive method. Students may draw other meaning from the examples. The inductive approach may also take more time and be less efficient and deductive approach. Certain ideas do not lend themselves easily to an inductive teaching. So it doesn't allow for divergent student thinking. It also doesn't emphasize students' reasoning and problem solving. Deductive approach cannot increase the creativity. So dear students, that is all with our theme today. We spoke about deductive and inductive approach. We spoke about definitions and objectives of these two methods, definitions of these two words, and we spoke about advantages and disadvantages of these two methods. So revise all the learned material today and be ready for the next time. Goodbye.